The community center in Oceanside glowed with soft lights and colorful decorations as families arrived for the annual Daddy-Daughter Winter Ball, where little girls in sparkling dresses held tightly to their fathers' hands while music echoed warmly across the crowded ballroom and photographers hurried between smiling families capturing memories that would hang on living room walls for years. But near the back of the room, 8-year-old Harper Collins stood quietly beside her mother Natalie. Wearing a simple silver dress and clutching a pair of ballet shoes against her chest because unlike the other girls arriving with fathers, Harper had lost hers 3 years earlier when Gunnery Sergeant Ryan Collins of the United States Marines was killed during an overseas combat deployment, leaving behind only memories, photographs, and the folded American flag presented to Natalie at his funeral. While since then Harper learned to smile politely whenever school events focused on fathers, even though every reminder reopened a wound she carried silently inside her heart. And although Natalie tried desperately to make the evening special, she noticed her daughter growing quieter each minute as girls rushed happily onto the dance floor with their dads, until everything changed when Harper accidentally overheard two parents speaking nearby while waiting for refreshments, because one woman glanced toward Natalie and whispered softly, "It's sad they still come to these events," before another replied, "That poor girl's family feels incomplete without a father here." And although the comments were not meant for Harper to hear, every word hit her like broken glass, causing the little girl's face to fall instantly while she slowly looked down at her ballet shoes, trying desperately not to cry, because at 8 years old she already understood what it felt like for people to see her family as broken instead of surviving. And moments later Harper quietly told her mother she wanted to leave early because she suddenly felt sick, while Natalie fought tears of her own, knowing no amount of comforting words could erase the emptiness her daughter felt during moments like this, until without warning loud engines echoed outside the community center, followed by the sharp sound of heavy boots moving quickly across the entrance hallway, and seconds later the ballroom doors suddenly opened as 15 United States Marines entered together wearing full dress blues, causing conversations across the entire room to stop instantly while guests stared in confusion, because leading the group was Master Sergeant Victor Hayes, one of Ryan Collins' closest friends and the Marine who had personally stood beside Natalie during Ryan's military funeral years earlier. And as the Marines crossed the ballroom floor in perfect formation, they walked directly toward Harper while the little girl stood frozen beside her mother, unable to understand what was happening until Master Sergeant Hayes stopped in front of her before kneeling down and holding out his gloved hand while speaking softly enough for only Harper to hear. "Your father once carried every one of us through the worst days of our lives," he said gently. "Tonight, his brothers came to carry you." Tears instantly filled Natalie's eyes while Harper covered her mouth in shock, and before the emotional little girl could even respond, the Marines suddenly spread across the dance floor together as the music slowly restarted through the speakers, while guests stepped aside silently watching hardened combat veterans begin dancing, laughing and spinning with the grieving daughter of the Marine brother they had lost, because for those men this was never charity or pity but a promise that Ryan Collins' family would never face life alone. While throughout the evening each Marine took turns dancing with Harper, treating her not like someone broken but like family, and slowly the little girl who moments earlier wanted to disappear began smiling, laughing and twirling across the ballroom, surrounded by the same Marines who once fought beside her father overseas, while parents throughout the room quietly wiped tears from their faces, realizing how deeply their careless words could wound a child already carrying unimaginable grief. And near the end of the night, Master Sergeant Hayes presented Harper with a framed military photograph showing her father standing proudly beside the exact Marines now dancing around her, while Harper traced her fingers gently across her father's smiling face before finally whispering through tears, "Daddy sent you here, didn't he?" causing several Marines nearby to break down emotionally, because in that moment every one of them felt Ryan Collins present beside them again. And before leaving the ballroom, all 15 Marines lined up beside Harper for one final dance as the entire crowd stood silently watching a little girl once made to feel incomplete realize she was surrounded by a family stronger than loss itself, because true family is not defined only by who remains alive but also by who refuses to leave your side after tragedy changes everything.